Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my retrospective event for September 2019. Today we're going to be walking down memory lane. We're going to be watching back a lot of video content from my 10 years as a content creator on the internet, as nominated by you, the viewers, on my forums. But also, I'm going to be picking some stuff personally that I think is going to be really entertaining to watch back. And then later on, we probably get some suggestions from people on my stream chat and the like as well. So the first thing we're starting off with today is a video from 2 years ago when I was still playing Ultra Street Fighter 2 over on the Nintendo Switch. And just to give you guys some perspective, this game was fun while it lasted, but the makers of this game did not give a shit about competition at all. They essentially screwed the game up and put two broken characters in the game that were way overpowered and should not have been in the game, and they put them into ranked matches. So the entire game online became good luck trying to beat the two overpowered characters. The entire online game was just people doing bullshit with these overpowered characters. They're just morons. If you wanted to put them in, like, casual player matches, fine. Ranked matches that are supposed to count against your rankings online and everything, it's ludicrous that they did this, okay? So this is an example of a match where someone, I believe, played, like, flawlessly, and I got insanely salty. So here we go. Alright, I don't know who this guy is. Quixote Don. At this point, I'm done fucking around, seriously. Oh, Akuma! An Akuma player. Great. Here we go. Oh! A 4,200 point, 15,000 Akuma player. I might as well just quit. I might as well just quit now. Here it comes. There it is, the pure pattern Akuma, folks. Here it is. Air fireball, ground fireball. You can't do anything. You can't do anything to this. Yep. There's nothing I can do. It's a 100% win. When you play Akuma like this, you can't lose. And sadly, this guy is probably the highest point total of anyone, and actually probably thinks he's good too. Like, he actually thinks he's good at this fucking game. He's actually the worst player in the game. He's worse than that last guy with the abusable fucking internet connection. This guy actually thinks he knows how to play, and he's picking a banned character who obviously is overpowered. You can't get around the fireball. There's no way. There's no way to beat it. It's impossible. There's no way. There's no way for me to avoid any of his attacks. See? Yep, perfect. It's a guaranteed double perfect if he does it perfectly. So, Akuma was in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo when it was an arcade game, but he was a secret character. You needed to input a code at the title screen in order to get him, and he was banned from all tournament play because the makers of the game knew he was insanely overpowered. He was meant to be an unfair and insanely overpowered character. So why would you put him into the ranked matches of your video game? It just shows that the people who made Ultra Street Fighter 2 had no idea whatsoever what the fuck they were doing. Zero. They had no clue when they made this game. They were just throwing shit at a wall and seeing what would stick, and they were like, gee, people who don't know how to play Street Fighter might want to play this game if we put a boss character in as a normal character. They're complete fucking assholes. And that's what he's doing. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's official. Quixote Don is actually the worst player of Ultra Street Fighter 2, and he has the highest fucking record, the most amount of points. Yeah. He's the worst player in the entire game because all he does is a perfect spam pattern of unavoidable, unbeatable tactics with a banned character, and he has the most points in the game. Yeah, it's stupid because anyone who wanted to play that game at a competitive level, you'd play it online, and that's all you would see. You would see spamming Akuma fireballs, or there was Ken, Violent Ken, who is also incredibly overpowered, and that's all you would see online at all, and people weren't even good. Like, with Violent Ken, they would literally just do Dragon Punch, Dragon Punch, Dragon Punch, and the game was laggy, so you couldn't, like, react to it, and he would either hit you, or you would try to hit him after to punish him. You couldn't punish the Dragon Punch. So they would just do, the whole game would be doing this. Like, what the fuck? And this is supposed to be like a valid fighting game. And it really was not a valid fighting game. It was fucked up, but alright. And this guy also, he basically would always be there. Like, whenever I played it, he would be there constantly playing it. Now I'm looking like dark as shit. What's going on here? He would be there constantly playing. And it was stupid as hell because, like, you would want to play the game and play all. You would only see fucking Akuma. You would never be able to play the game against any other character. So just an example of ineptitude when making games. Okay, up next, someone has suggested that we watch my most viewed game review of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring this video up. Hold on a second. It's probably going to autoplay, so bear with me here. This video has over 1 million views. So it is actually one of my most viewed videos of all time. Okay? This video was actually made in 2016. This was a time when I was doing edited content for YouTube. I actually had a separate channel from my gameplay channel, DSPGaming. It was called KO Gaming. And I was doing edited style gameplay videos, meaning edited reviews, countdowns, etc. The channel got very popular. It ended up getting millions of views. I made a lot of money on it until YouTube just decided at one point to just demonetize it for no reason whatsoever. I don't want to get into that because it's just going to piss me off about how fucked up YouTube is and why I don't focus on YouTube anymore. Okay? But this video has over 1 million views. And some people say it is the best review I've ever done because I was so angry in this review. Okay? Spawn Killer, by the way, tip me $1. Thank you very much, Spawn Killer. You should have been here earlier. I'm not going to re-explain things that I talked about on the pre-stream, but I appreciate the $1 tip. Okay, so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, is my review of Homefront the Revolution from 2016. Let's watch it together. Gentlemen, my name is Darkside Phil. I've been on YouTube for the greater part of 8 years, covering pretty much every major release that 8 years, because this was 3 years ago. Ranging from console games that are huge AAA releases to small indie titles, the occasional PC release here and there. By the way, one thing I should mention, all the video footage you see in this review is raw, unedited from my streams. None of it is because my setup sucks, it's because the game actually runs at this low of a frame rate, okay? Hell, even some handheld games. And in all the time that I've made videos, over 50,000 videos for YouTube. Today, unfortunately, is the very first day that I have to tell you I have played the worst game I have ever played in my life. And I just want to let you know, I don't take that statement lightly. I really pride myself on giving you honest feedback, commentary, and reviews regarding the games that I play on YouTube, because I like to think that my videos are a service to people who are going to watch them, see if they like the game that I'm playing, and then go out and buy it for themselves, or subsequently skip the game if it's something that's not their cup of. It's subsequently, but I said subsequently in this video. I have this running pattern of pronouncing certain words wrong, and it's like a pet peeve with people. They get angry that I say some certain words wrong. Now I know it's subsequently though. Today we're going to be talking about Homefront the Revolution. A game that was stuck in development hell for 5 years, a game that was supposed to be the sequel to a 2011 release for a game studio that no longer exists. Let's get started. Way back in 2011, a little game called Homefront was released. Now, admittedly, this game was not even a blip on many people's radar. I had the chance to actually check it out and found it surprisingly different from your standard first-person shooter, at least when it came to a few aspects of the story. The story featured a what-if scenario. What if America had been purchasing technology from North Korea for years? What if America had become completely dependent upon technology from North Korea, including not just electronics, but also military grades, such as helicopters, tanks, and weapons? And what if North Korea and the United States had a falling out, and there was a back door into all of that technology, which would completely lower all of America's defenses, leading to an invasion of the West Coast by North Korean military forces? What a premise, and what a weird way to start a first-person shooter. I remember watching the intro cutscenes of this game and gasping at some of the really gruesome things that happened, and it really just ended up being pretty unique. Now, overall, the gameplay of the game wasn't anything to really write home about. It was kind of just run and gun fare, comparable to Call of Duty, but at least the story gave this game a unique identity. And so, it's funny because, at this time, like 2011, when the original Homefront came out, there was a lot of games that were like this, where they all wanted to copy Call of Duty, because remember, Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 were like the hottest shit. And so there were so many first-person shooter games during that time period, like 3-4 years, this condensed time period, that even though this game's premise sounds interesting, a lot of people just didn't even play it because it was just another drop in the bucket of FPS games. Today, there's not that many. Like, you maybe see maybe 2-3 major FPS games a year, if that. But back then, there was just, like, so many. It was a bloated market. It was a fad back then that there was so many FPS games. Big Sloppy Meat wants me to unban him. I don't know, man. I guess we could give him a shot. I'm not too confident that he's not going to cause trouble today. Maybe because it's a special day. We're doing a nice marathon. Maybe I'll be nice. What do you guys think? Should I be nice to Big Sloppy Meat? This would be like his 4th chance. Or his 3rd chance. Alright, we're going to give him a chance. We're going to give him a chance today. I'm going to be a nice guy. Let's see if he behaves. Okay, let's continue. I'm not confident. Let's continue. At that time, publisher THQ decided that they wanted to make a sequel. Unfortunately, THQ ended up declaring bankruptcy and subsequently going out of business, selling off all of its game franchises to the highest bidder. Homefront ended up being bought by Crytek, the same company that made Crysis, and then subsequently fell to a game developer named Deep Silver, who then contracted a new game studio to actually make this newer installment called Homefront the Revolution. So it's been 5 long years that we've been waiting for this game to come out, and everyone's been wondering, what is it going to be? Is it going to be similar? Is it going to be different? We kept hearing rumblings from the game studio and from Deep Silver that the game got delayed twice. First originally supposed to be released in 2015, then being pushed to early 2016, and then finally being delayed until today, May 17th, 2016, and finally we were able to get our hands on it. The wait was not worth it. This game is one of the most... So, as you can see, the stuff I used to do on KO Gaming 3.5 years ago, very different from what I do today with my live streams. It was very analytical. I did research, editing, very different, right? And I'm, you know, that's cool. Like, I really like doing it. It was about a year to a year and a half that this was an experiment that I did, and I was curious if I actually did these highly edited videos for YouTube, could I get popularity like other YouTubers? And the answer was yes. The videos on that channel were getting great views and everything, and YouTube destroyed it by demonetizing the channel. So fucked up. But anyway, let's continue. Most uninspired, tired, repetitive, boring, unfun, buggy... I could keep going on and on with the adjectives. Yes, Dacky Swerve, it does annoy me when I mispronounce things in the past, because now obviously I know it's subsequently, not subsequently, but it is what it is. All day long. Can't change the past. First of all, before I even start, I want to let you know I played the game on PlayStation 4, and I've actually heard that the people who reviewed this game all got PC codes for it, and apparently the game doesn't have as many graphical issues as it does on the PlayStation 4. I'm just reviewing the copy that I purchased for a full $60 retail price. I just want to make that clear up front. This is a full-fledged release that costs the price of a full game. From the get-go, you can tell that this game is insanely poorly optimized. A low frame rate even in the opening cutscenes, choppiness. And you have to ask yourself, did anyone actually test this game on consoles and say that it was passable? Because even a basic game tester who's playing this game and running through the city and trying to do action sequences could tell you a sub 20 frames per second game is not going to fly in 2016, especially with such awesome recent releases like Uncharted 4 and Doom, both running at a full 60 frames per second with insanely detailed 1080p visuals. How on earth you think you could sell a game like this on this? Interesting, right? That you guys couldn't see it because I'm broadcasting at 30 frames right now, but I actually had those videos that popped up running at 60 frames, so you could see 2 games that look amazing running at 60 frames while this game can't even run at 30. I wanted to show that perspective in the video. I thought that was a neat thing to have the 60 frame video playing over the sub 20 frame video. All right, well, Big Sloppy Meat Cheese says I'll be a good boy. We'll find out. Thank you. Same exact console as those high-performing games and let it fly. I have no fucking clue. It's an atrocity, a ripoff, and the only thing I can tell you is that the game developers were lazy as fucking shit. But it's not just the frame rate that's the problem with Homefront the Revolution. Just walking into the very first area of the game, you can immediately see the laziness of this game dev team.
So here's this,
I immediately
NPC.
noticed 2 identical NPCs standing right the fuck next to each other.
Look!
You couldn't even put them at opposite ends of the first area? No.
How did they not catch that? They made this game, they didn't realize they had fucking identical twins. The only thing I could think is that maybe they had like 5 generic NPCs, and they had a code to randomly spawn them, and so if it's just bad luck if 2 of them are standing next to each other, you couldn't do more. You know what I mean? Like, the game just screams, oh, we cut corners, and that's pathetic. 2 of them standing next to each other.
Let's put them right next to each other as if to laugh at the purchaser of this game and say, fuck you, we've got your money, bitch. We don't care that we didn't put any attention into the fucking development. And you'll actually notice over the course of the game that most of the NPCs of those who are in the revolution, the rebel faction fighting against the North Korean invaders, are almost all the same characters repeated over and over and
the same guy.
It's a joke. It's disgusting. It's incredibly lazy that they couldn't even be bothered to make more than a dozen characters for this game. What the fuck? The gameplay of Homefront the Revolution is similar to those kind of first-person platforming action
terrible
shooter games of previous years. Think Far Cry, or maybe last year's Dying Light sans the zombies, and you'll probably get the idea. You're in a open world per se. You'll be limited to certain areas of this open world city until you progress the story, but as you climb through this world, you'll be platforming around all the different city scaffolding and through the streets. You're going to be trying to avoid North Korean soldiers that are patrolling and will obviously identify you and shoot you on sight, especially the more missions that you end up doing for the resistance. And pretty much that's the goal. Do little things throughout the city, completing story missions, completing some optional side missions, such as, oh, sabotage this, or save this random citizen on the street that's being harassed by a soldier, in order to earn money and upgrade points, so that you can get new weapons, new abilities, and new customizations for your guns. The one thing that they tried to do original in Homefront the Revolution was a gun customization system by which you can modify a weapon that you've bought and turn it into a completely different kind of thing depending on the situation. For example, I had a battle rifle, which was basically a standard assault rifle, but I modified it to actually shoot little firecracker rockets that could knock enemies down and kill them instantly. Or I also had a mod that could make it a sniper rifle, so it gives you some versatility. The problem being, the entire mechanic falls flat on its face when you realize it's almost impossible to aim and shoot anything in this game because the frame rate is so fucking choppy. By the time that you look down the sights, the enemies are already moving all over the screen and you can't even get a beat on them. So I ended up having to use the rocket launcher capability of this rifle because I couldn't hit anything with anything else. In addition, it actually takes a while to switch between the weapon mods because of the clunky interface. You have to first press up on the D-pad, then hold R1, then use your left thumbstick to select which variation of the gun that you actually want, then wait about 5 seconds while an animation completes to switch the gun. So any anticipation of trying to do an on-the-fly adjustment between the weapon mods is completely worthless, and you'll be dead before you actually get between the mods themselves. It's a waste of a mechanic. It's something that could have been interesting if implemented properly, but the one original thing that they do with the game falls flat on its fucking face. And so, ultimately, with shout out to Insomniatic Me, who did 100-bit cheering, said, shout out to the 2 stray cats that are now living on my back porch because they want to eat our birds. You win this fight, you bastards. And Daggy Smurf says, with so much content, how did you have the time to edit videos on top of them back in the day? Actually, I didn't do as much raw content back in the day. I actually did way less gameplay that 1 year of 2016. I would do my 4+ hour early gameplay stream, and then 2 to 3 days a week, I wouldn't do late night streams. I would do editing. I would sit down and edit videos and do edited reviews and the like, and because KO Gaming took off the way it did, it actually made up for the fact that I wasn't doing those night streams. But then when YouTube demonetized this channel, I couldn't take the time to do it anymore, and I just went to full-time streaming, so now 6 days a week, all day I'm streaming. That's what happened. You know, it was working for a while until YouTube, for no reason, ran their algorithm and determined that this channel, KO Gaming, was not monetizable for some reason. Figure that one out. With these open world first-person shooter games, the question begs itself, gee, I wonder how long it's going to take until you get to repetitive fetch quests and missions that are mandatory for you to progress the game. At first they're not, and you don't have to do them unless you're looking to get upgrade points or to get your weapons modified really quickly, but it only took, I'd say, about a little bit over an hour until I reached a critical story point where it said, well, now you need to earn 100% approval by all the people in this certain district in order to advance the story any further, which meant I had to walk around this city and repetitively sabotage little items. I had to kill troops who were harassing citizens. I had to unlock safe houses by simply just getting inside them and pressing a button on a radio. Boring, boring, fucking boring. It's the same shit you've done in Far Cry 500 zillion fucking times. It's obvious they blatantly stole it from that formula, and they really didn't have any originality with this game. Once you unlock that 100% approval rating for that part of the district, you then get to do a few more story missions, which are incredibly annoying because the frame rate's so bad and the performance of the game is so poor on PlayStation 4 that you're gonna die a million times just trying to do basic things, like shoot the fucking enemy that's 2 inches in front of your goddamn face, who's a fucking idiot and walks directly in front of your gun, but you still can't manage to fucking hit with bullets. This game is a fucking piece of shit. It's terrible. It's not worth $60, and after playing it for 3.5 hours, I never want to fucking play it again. I immediately deleted it off of my PlayStation 4. Good riddance to bad fucking rubbish. Cody Carl's Trudy says, how did KO Gaming get blacklisted but not DSP Gaming? Your guess is as good as mine. I don't think we will ever understand the inner workings of YouTube's bullshit automated algorithms, because DSP Gaming has been around the block since 2010. You know, it's been there 9 years, and never have I uploaded videos to DSP Gaming and had them immediately demonetized. Sometimes videos will get flagged either for graphic content, adult language, etc., and they'll get demonetized after the fact, but never have I ever had a situation where every video I upload to DSP Gaming gets demonetized. But that's exactly what was going on with KO Gaming. After about roughly a year of making content for it, I would make a brand new video, upload it, and immediately before the video even processed and went live, the video would show as demonetized. So it was obvious YouTube had red flagged the channel for demonetization and wanted to have every single video go through a manual review process to get monetized. But as I have previously said, when that happens, you get most of your views, say around 80% of your views for any video comes within the first 24 hours. So if I have to wait 3-4 days for a video to get reviewed and then get the ads back on it, I make no money on that video. So imagine me now taking 2-3 nights a week not streaming to make a big edited video like this. I put it out and I make $2 on it. Doesn't work anymore, right? So I don't know. I don't know what's going on in that regard and why they did that. It just sucked because the channel had momentum, and it really was going well, and then it just died completely because of YouTube. Just because YouTube decided to do that. Okay. Big Sloppy Meat cheered, says he wants me to go watch Saints Row 2. Maybe we will. We'll see. But Phil, you might say, you've been around the block, you've been doing gameplay videos on YouTube for 8+ years, you've played some pretty bad stinkers before, how does this game rank amongst the worst? Ooh, am I glad you said that, because I personally prepared to tell you why I think that Homefront the Revolution is the worst fucking game I've ever played. Let's talk about some of the worst games that I've ever touched on YouTube. First off, Epic Mickey. That's right, I'm going there all the way back to December of 2010. The Wii console exclusive game release that was an action platformer with painting and erasing mechanics starring Mickey Mouse. I hated this fucking game, mostly because being on the Nintendo Wii, it had to implement motion control mechanics that made the platforming incredibly difficult in certain areas, where if you were just able to use a standard controller to play the game, it probably would have been way easier. In addition, the limitations of the Wii's graphical engine made the game pixelated, made certain areas of the game chug along at an incredibly low frame rate, and overall the game just performed very poorly on a console that obviously couldn't handle the kind of creative vision that the game director had for the game. Ultimately, Epic Mickey was a sales success because it came out in the holiday season of 2010, and it was the only major release for kids during that period of time, so it made a ton of money. However, later, when the sequel came out, people had finally realized how bad of a game this was. The sequel completely critically flopped, no one bought it, and this series is deader than dead. Epic Mickey is a shitty game, but The game would have been functional if not for the console that it was on, the Nintendo Wii. I full-heartedly believe that if this game had been cross-platform or been on the Xbox 360 or PS3, it could have been a hit. It's the shame of the game developer to make it console exclusive. That's the reason that it failed, and that's why I don't think it's actually as bad as Homefront the Revolution. Well, what about Conduit 2?
Oh,
that's right.
God.
Actually, the month after I played the original Homefront on the Xbox 360, I played Conduit 2 on the Nintendo Wii. And boy, what a contrast between those two games at the time, being that Conduit 2 tried to be ambitious. It was trying... Again, 2011, every console had like 10 to 12 FPS games, including the Wii tried to do a real FPS game with Conduit 2. Failed. The game was terrible. But... that's what I mean. There was this one era of time where there were so many fucking FPS games coming out in a short period of time. Last Rambo Cheer said, could you not make the videos private so that you do not lose on the views? That's not how it works, Last Rambo. If I upload a video to a channel and I leave it as private, two things happen. Number one, that video will not publish properly. So what I mean by that is, let's say I upload a video that's private. 4 days later, I make it public. It doesn't show up in anyone's feed. It only shows up in a sub feed if it goes live immediately when you upload it, or if you schedule it to go live at a certain like date and time. If you leave a video private, it won't publish properly, so anyone who subbed to you won't even know that you did it. Problem is, YouTube will not review videos that are private. YouTube has to make a video be public in order to like review it for any reason. At least back then, that's how it was. Like YouTube would say, you know, this video must be public in order for us to review. So you needed the video to be public and be public for multiple days for YouTube to reverse the decision on demonetization, at which point all your views are already done and there's no point in even making the video. That might have changed as of now. It's been 3.5 years. Who knows if that process has changed? I don't know. But like I said, there's so many effing things that go on YouTube on a daily basis. For example, now that the adpocalypse has happened, it's almost impossible to make... This video right now that we're watching has over 1 million views. This made me, no lie, thousands of dollars that year. Today, this would probably make me a couple hundred. Because that's how bad YouTube ad revenue has gotten. So there's no point in even trying to, like, fix the... Like, this is an unfixable problem at this point. Because YouTube has tanked their business and destroyed the business model. So I feel for people who are, like, full-time YouTubers and they're still trying to make ends meet. I can't imagine how they're doing it with how bad YouTube has gotten with ad revenue and everything. So... and an anonymous person gifted a sub to Jinx. Congrats to Jinx on the gifted sub. Alright, let's continue. Trying to be a Halo-esque style of alien invasion shooter where you're fighting gauntlets of enemies, you're picking up unique weapons, you're using them against the enemies. It even had some unique gameplay features in it. The problem being, again, the game was a Nintendo Wii exclusive and the console could not handle what the game was trying to do creatively. It was plagued by terrible graphics. You couldn't even tell what things were at a distance, yet they were able to snipe you and insta-kill you when all you could see was a few fucking delayed or distorted pixels in the background of the game, making enemies unhittable. The frame rate chugged super low in parts, and because of this, it made the game almost impossibly difficult to beat. Of course, keep in mind the ending was complete crap, but never mind that. This game, probably again, much like Epic Mickey, would have been a better game if it had been developed on one of the more modern consoles, such as the Xbox 360 or the PS3, and it was really only the console, the Nintendo Wii, that held it back. And again, that's why I think Conduit 2 is not as bad as Homefront the Revolution. Last but certainly not the best out of this sneaky countdown would be Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5, which just released last fall of 2015. This game was a disgrace. A game developer that blatantly didn't care about what they were actually putting into their game and just wanted to capitalize on the license they had to the Tony Hawk franchise before they lost it at the end of the year. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 did everything possibly fucking wrong that they could do with a skating game. The gameplay literally degraded to that of a Tony Hawk game from the 1990s, having no story, no campaign, no actual selectable characters from the get-go that you would want to fucking play with or have any kind of difference between them. It was basically, no matter who you picked, you just going through very boring, generic trials, doing things such as grabbing fucking ice cream cones or hitting fucking beach balls out of a stupid pool. You know, that's the things I think of when I think of Tony Hawk, right? No, not in 2016, especially because in the mid-2000s we had Tony Hawk games that were far better and had totally progressed the series past this. This was a total regression just for the sake of selling a game for $60. But the game ran at 60 frames per second and for the most part was fully playable. There were no issues there. Yeah, the graphics weren't the most detailed, but you could play the game even though it was a shitty one. You could still play it. And again, that's why I think Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 is still better than Homefront the Revolution. And that, simply put, is why I think Homefront the Revolution is the worst of the worst. Epic Mickey and Conduit 2 both had some creativity to them and probably would have been pretty good games if not console exclusives on the Nintendo Wii, which could just not handle the creativity that those directors wanted to put into their games. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 is a piece of shit, but at least it's a functional piece of shit. Homefront the Revolution is neither. It's got no creativity, it's got no originality, it blatantly steals repetitive and boring gameplay from other games, and it's completely non-functional, low frame rate crap on the PlayStation 4. This game developer, Damn Breaker, whoever the fuck they are, should be ashamed of themselves. Deep Silver should be seeking to give refunds to everyone who bought this fucking game, and I can't imagine that anyone is ever going to buy a game from them ever again. To add insult to injury, I have to read this from Wikipedia, you won't believe it. In March of 2015, Deep Silver announced that Homefront the Revolution was delayed until 2016 for the reasons that they wanted to ensure their development staff would have every opportunity to turn it into a best-selling title. What the fuck did Damn Breaker Studios do for a fucking year? Because they certainly didn't optimize the game, they certainly didn't add any kind of gameplay that's fun. They probably sat there with their thumbs up their motherfucking asses and spinning, saying, I can't wait for the money to pay off all the hard work that we didn't put into this fucking garbage game. This is the worst game I've ever played. Stay the fuck away from me. Well, that... Alright, so that video, over 1 million views on KO Gaming. People liked it. And, overall, it gave me, like motivation to keep making edited content. And I did. I was, for a while, making edited content. And, by the way, no, not every video on KO Gaming had that kind of popularity. Most of the videos got anywhere between 10,000 to 50,000 views. A few went more viral and got a couple 100,000 views. But it was mostly around that range, which was fine. If I was making videos that were getting 50,000 views, at that point... Again, before YouTube adpocalypse happened, that was making me a good amount of money where I could take time away from 1 or 2 streams a week in order to work on it. But sadly, it didn't last because YouTube just fucked the whole thing up because they're a bunch of assholes. I don't know what else to say. Last Rambo Charity said Epic Mickey 2 was developed on the more powerful PS3 and Xbox 360, but you still disliked it. That's right. As I said in this video, the reason that I disliked it was because it was not nearly as good as the original Epic Mickey. What they did is they tried to basically make it a co-op game, and also it exposed the flaws of the franchise. The Epic Mickey 1 wasn't a great game to begin with either. It had a good idea, but it was poorly implemented. Epic Mickey 2 ended up being more watered down and just not being fun at all, even though it was cross-platform. So, what's the Amazon Associate link? At one point, I was an Amazon Associate, and what that meant was that you could buy things through a link on Amazon, and I would get, like, referral credit for it. But Amazon contacted me, I don't even remember, this was years ago, and said, oh, well, you mentioned it in a video, and that's not allowed. And I was like, wait a minute, what? So you have a program where you want people like me to have people order things through Amazon via this link, and I get referral credit for it, but I'm not allowed to mention it at all. And basically they responded, they were like, no, you're not. I was like... So how would people know it existed, right? If I'm not putting this in the end of my video, if I'm not talking about it in a video, how would you know it existed? Well, that's not allowed per our terms of service. I'm like, you don't make any sense. How is this possible that this exists and I can't mention it anywhere, but you want people to use it? Like, it doesn't even make any fucking sense. I guess what it is, what they really expect is if you own a website, an e-commerce website, okay, and buy things from Amazon here, or you're advertising a product on your website, buy it here with this link, and then you click on the link and you buy it through there, you get referral credit. I guess that's really what the Amazon Associates program was designed for, But anyone who's a content creator on the internet, yeah, now Make Yusha says, well, yeah, everyone mentions their Amazon link. You must have done something wrong. I did. This is literally what Amazon contacted me and told me. They said that you can't mention it in a video. That's against the terms of service. I was like, but how would people know then? And then they kicked me out of the program. And more than likely what happened is someone contacted Amazon about me, just like they do with everything, and probably spammed them constantly about it. And so Amazon looked into it and said, okay, we're going to kick him out of the program. Most other people probably don't get reported or anything, so they get away with it. And I can't get away with anything because people are always on my ass about everything. So more than likely that's what happened. Okay? Scrooge McDuck tipped me $1. Can we watch your PSVR launch coverage? I'd love to see your take on it now. What I'll do, I'll take notes. We're not going to watch that yet, but let me take notes on things that you guys are interested in seeing. PSVR launch. Yeah, that's one of the things that possibly we can watch back. I'm going to take notes, and then we'll look at that stuff later on in the stream. Okay? All right, so that's that. Let me go to the next thing here. Hold on. Let's see what else we got. What's next? Oh, let's see here. See, here's the thing. Someone listed the Fury playthrough when I rage quit it. The problem is you're not really going to understand the context of it, I don't think. We can give it a shot, but I don't know if... you know what I mean? Like, if without watching the whole playthrough, you might not understand why this boss fight's frustrating. It's kind of out of context. So I don't know how entertaining this would be. We can give it a shot, though, and see. I guess we'll give it a shot. It's probably... I don't know. He says... Start at the 42-minute mark timestamp. Okay. Okay, here. So. Alright, here it is. It looks like pixelated shit, by the way. Okay. Here we are. Shout out to... Oh, we got a few shout outs. No Baba Booey. He gave me $1. Says, if you're bad-mouthing Amazon, you might get banned from Twitch. No. Stop being ridiculous. I'm stating a fact about my experience with something that happened with the Amazon Associates program that has nothing whatsoever to do with Twitch. Relax. I love how people think because I'm streaming on a platform that's technically owned by Amazon that I have to absolutely kiss Amazon's ass every possible moment. I don't. I can be honest. For example, recently I had a good experience with Amazon where I had a lot of trouble with an exercise bike, but Amazon went out of their way to try to make the experience nice for me and ended up giving me a lot of credit on their website because they were nice. I ended up getting some freebie stuff out of a bad experience. So that's an experience where Amazon's great. But if there's an experience where Amazon's bad, I can be honest about that too. You don't have to constantly kiss a company's ass. I'm not in fear that I'm going to be banned by Twitch for that. You're out of your mind. There's no policy on Twitch, no shadow ban policy that just because it's owned by Amazon, you can't ever talk about Amazon honestly. And you should really grow up. I mean, I'm being honest here. People should grow up and stop thinking that there's conspiracy theories behind every possible thing. There's not. There's no evil intentions behind fucking Amazon that I can't be honest about my experiences with Amazon. Seriously, guys. Okay. Hank Hill Propane God resub for 20 months. Thank you very much, Hank Hill. Good to see you. And thank you for the resub. And Ben Boxer Cheese, can you watch Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 co-op with John Rambo? I'll put that up here as a possibility for later in the stream. Okay. Let us watch this and see if it's any good. I don't know. If this is boring, we'll quit. We'll stop it. I don't know how it's going to be out of context. I already took damage. Why? Why did I take damage again? This game is frustrating, dude. It really is.
I prepared for it. You are not taking it away from
I got hit again. What the fuck? I'm done. I can only get 2 more times. That's it. It's over. Done. Fuck this. I'm done. I'm not doing it again. That's it. I'll give any game the old college try. This is just garbage. It's complete garbage. My dashes are delayed. And, you know, every game that I play has delay, and it could be my TV. I can't necessarily fault the game because there's no way to test that. But the game is so... This is back when I had my old TV. That was a TV that I used from, I think it was 2011, all the way through last year. So it was a TV I used for essentially 7 to 8 years. And I did actually find out, after getting my new TV last year,
that TV had delay. Like, that TV had significant delay. Now, when I bought it in 2011, no one really talked about input delay on TVs. It was more of a monitor thing. But then as I played games over the years as a content creator, and I realized, why is it I'm playing a fighting game and it feels like there's so much delay? I had a friend who was playing Street Fighter 4 online at his house, and he came over to my house and played it and was like, dude, this is like so delayed on your TV. I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, like, seriously, there's like added delay on your TV for whatever reason. So for years, when I was playing all these hard-ass games and shit, I was essentially playing it with added input delay. Now that I have my new TV, it's so much better. Like, I don't have as much delay anymore. So
it requires such strict timing, and half the time I try to do a dash through a wave, it doesn't work and I get hit. It's fucking bullshit, and I'm not redoing another. I'm not doing it. That's it. I did it 3 fucking times over and over. I've aced every fight until the end. I'm not doing the same 10 minutes of gameplay again to just fail again. Fuck this. Seriously, I'm done with it. Insanely archaic and bad game design. If you want to have a game like this in 2016, you have to have checkpoints. It's that simple. And don't give me the bullshit, but there are checkpoints because you have extra life. No, that's an extra life. An extra life is not a checkpoint. That's not the purpose of a checkpoint. Checkpoint is if you die, you restart.
Alright, I'm already bored. I'm seriously already bored. I knew this wasn't going to be very exciting. Me just ranting about... We all know Fury is an annoying game. It's a game that's based solely on patterns. It's like a bullet hell action game. In my opinion, I'll be very honest here, it's not a great game. It's a game that relies on visuals and on difficulty as a gimmick rather than as a fun gameplay element. In fact, it's funny, Omnibitus Wang has just said in the stream chat, he's like, I beat Fury, and when I beat it, I didn't even feel any sense of accomplishment because the game was just so fucking annoying that by the end of the game, I didn't care that I had beaten it. I was just like, fuck this. And that's how I felt at this point in the game. I just didn't care about it anymore. I wasn't having fun. Dark Souls, when you're playing a difficult game like Dark Souls, you're exploring this cool world with all these unique parts to it, hidden secrets, fun combat, variations in the combat depending on what weapon you're using. There's all this positive to Dark Souls. Yes, you could run into a point in the game where you get your ass pounded in and you're going to get frustrated, but there's all these positives to balance it out. This game was just like punishment, 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 punishment. I didn't care about it anymore. I just didn't want to play it. So, I knew this wasn't going to be too exciting, so. Gamma Relay did a 295-bit cheer, which is the top cheer of the day, and he says, looking back at time, it makes me realize that live streaming of new releases is better than typical game reviews since you can get the whole picture. That's why I like these streams. Yeah, you know, back in the day, I would do the raw gameplay right away, and people really liked that about my content, that I would be the guy who put out all the gameplay right away for every new release. And a lot of people said, essentially, we like watching someone play versus watching a game review, because a game review can gloss over so many different points. Try to get more light in here. It can gloss over so many different points that not seeing that live reaction misses. By seeing the live reaction, you're seeing what I'm reacting to immediately and why I'm annoyed, versus a review. Well, there's a boss fight that's really annoying because it's bullet hell and you try it over and over. But if you see it live, in action, and you see the person reacting to it live, it feels more genuine to me, at least. So, thank you for the cheer. Billy Ray Cyrus took me $1. Said, can we see a Scarface video where you rant about turtlenecks? I don't even know what you're talking about. He says that he tried to find it and couldn't find it. He thinks I didn't record it for YouTube. I have no idea, dude. I'm sure I didn't title it the turtleneck rant or anything like that. So I probably would never be able to find it. The only thing I can say is excuse me, if this was my original Scarface playthrough, not the time when I went back to it, the original playthrough, a lot of the videos got taken down for music because I was playing the Scarface soundtrack in the videos. So it's very likely a lot of those videos you can't even watch because they were blocked for music purposes, and that's why you can't find the video. Okay. All right. So continuing on, hold on a second here. Let's look at the next one. I knew this Fury video wasn't going to be very good. Let's see here. Ooh, Street Fighter 4 Dudley Madness, who I used to call him Mr. Diddles. Let's watch one video of this. Let's see if there's any entertainment factor to this. I haven't seen it in so long. I haven't watched my Street Fighter stuff in a million years, you know, so let's see if this is any good. Here we go. Mr. Diddles. All right. After this, we're going to go out for tea and crumpets.
Boy, what a difference. Now, look at the visuals and listen to the audio. This is how I used to record, by having a camera pointed at the TV. This is not direct capture. That's why it sounds like this. People used to prefer this, and people got angry when I went to direct capture. Oh, I like the old style. Phil's like, really? You really like those visuals better? And, you know, I resisted as much as I possibly could going to direct capture because people kept telling me they liked my style. But that's one of the things I absolutely have to say. It was the right decision. I mean, direct capture and using a microphone and everything versus using a camera. Oh my God. Anyway, Real Flash just did a 300-bit cheers. How's it going tonight, boss? Thank you, Real Flash. It's going well. So far, so good. You're the top cheerer. We'll get you up on the leaderboard there. And, you know, we're just at the very beginning of all of this. It's going to be a fun day. I love this. It's chill. It's chill doing this. All right. Let's continue. Moonwalkman says it was because it was like you were sitting next to us. I get that.
Tea and crumpets, motherfucker.
But like, now listening back to this is like, oh God.
You heard me, Akuma? I want a fucking cruller. A delicious croissant.
Mr. Diddles.
That's a croissant eating fucking mustache. Croissant. He wants croissant. The end of his mustache curved like a croissant. Come on, New Jersey's finest ones.
He's not French. I don't know why I'm talking about croissants.
Nice name. Oh, you dick. Okay, no standing fucking rear roundhouse, whatever you say. Yes, run away.
Uppercut.
No fucking standing roundhouse again. It's so laggy, man. Come on. Now use random ultra. Oh my god.
Random ultra.
Fuck your mother. Oh my god, Dudley. Fuck you, fucking dickhead.
Well, I'm so angry.
Your fucking big ass pretzel
I used to get so angry when I played Street Fighter. Oh my god.
time fucking ad on your back. What do you?
And what's funny is people still say I get angry today. I do, but not like this. Like, I used to get, like, insanely incensed playing this shit. Oh, my God.
Doing, man.
That's a damaging combo. Damn.
Oh, I'm trying to get his foot. Okay. I can't uppercut his foot, apparently. Wow. He's doing absolutely nothing and beating me. I did Ultra. Nothing comes out. Okay. I definitely did Reversal Ultra. Oh, my god.
Still caught him.
This guy's fucking horrendous, and I can't do anything about it. I can't react to anything. Fireball Ultra. Nope. Get hit in the fucking face with the fireball. Great. Fuck you.
Ooh, we got damage on one uppercut. Oh my god. I mixed them up, dude. Nice. I forgot how Dudley used to play. He's pretty good at this game.
Yes, of course. Random juggle with this fucking uppercut. I'm doing a move! Fuck you!
Oh! Blew right through him. Oh!
Suck a dick.
Through.
I can be an online scrub too. I'll mash out shit, you fucking idiot.
Oh my god! I was so angry and just insulting when I used to play Street Fighter. Oh my god. When was this from? Well, I gotta see, when was this from? This was from 2010, 9 years ago. I used to be like that angry all the time. So much trash talk. Oh my god. So this was back in the day. This was the days of Street Fighter when Street Fighter 4 was so hot and everyone was constantly playing it. It was the hype fighting game. And, you know, these videos got super popular. You know, these videos of me doing this kind of stuff. This video had 15,600 views on a random match of Street Fighter 4. 15,600 views. Holy shit, dude. Oh, let's see here. Got some shout-outs. Guitar Player took me another $1 and says, how about Star Wars Connect bonus footage Chap Dance Fever? Sadly can't do it because of the soundtrack. The soundtrack would make that get claimed or blocked on YouTube, so I can't do that. Indian DSP to me $1 says, WWE Starcade is coming to my area, ATL in December. What do you think about the event? Well, that's one of those random things they just do for the network. It's not like a real pay-per-view or whatever. It'll probably be fun, though. I say give it a look. Joshua Moon to the Dolly says, recording the screen had its charms. I agree. Recording the screen had its charms. I was able to immediately upload videos right away to YouTube and not have to worry about editing, processing, and all that crap. It was harder to do direct capture back then. Like, it was possible, but it was much harder. Now everything's been so streamlined and it's so easy to do, but back then it was not like that at all. So, you know, to some extent, I agree. You know, some people say, it sounds like you were sitting right next to us on the couch, yelling and screaming in an echoey living room, right? And I hear you. Like, a lot of people like that. But I think that the gimmick kind of ran out over time. Bubba Booey tipped me $1. He says, why are you skipping your own videos? Because they're boring. Why do you produce videos you would not watch yourself? Finally, you can. What your fans must suffer through. First of all, I don't watch videos at all. I'll say that again. I don't watch gameplay videos at all. I'm not a viewer of gaming content. I'm a creator of gaming content. I never sat around and just watched YouTube videos. I've never been like that, and I probably never will be. I like to play games. There's some people who like to watch people play games. I'm not like that. I like to just play the games myself. A lot of the stuff that I create, more than likely, I would not enjoy watching. That's not my job to watch my own content. My job is to create the content. So just what you're saying doesn't even make any logical sense at all. Just because I make content doesn't mean that I have to like watching it back. Plus, I've already been there, done that. If I was so frustrated with Fury the first time, sometimes it's frustrating to watch that again. You know what I mean? So there you go. Captain K-Man did a 100-bit cheer, and he says, you got the old CT Blizzard videos out on the porch. I have no idea. I don't even know where those would be. So, I don't know what to tell you. I got a $5 tip stating you should watch your Christmas videos for the retrospective. Which Christmas videos? I don't know what Christmas videos that even means. You'd have to be more specific. Ben Boxer tipped me $1 and says, I can't remember. We already watched PlayStation home videos. I think we did. It was a long time ago. It might have been like one of the first ones. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's $10 more in tips, by the way. Yeah, I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. I don't know if people wanted to see PS Home or not at this point. Last Rainbow Cheer, he says, some people were angry at your trash talk. Yeah, and I can understand why. This is very asshole-ish, you know? Constantly talking shit to whoever I'm fighting. But it was a shtick, too. That's what people got to realize. It wasn't 100% serious. It was a shtick that I did back then. Especially when I was playing fighting games. I was like, can I be as like, angry as possible? And people liked that. Wow, he's like the angriest fucking Street Fighter gamer. And he talks so much shit, but that's what makes his videos entertaining. Everyone else who was doing this was like boring as dirt. You know, analyzing the match at a high level. You know, that's the difference between me and a pro player. Like, people would say, Justin Wong, you could watch his videos and you're going to learn a lot about the game, but you're never going to laugh or have fun because he's so analytical. You watch my videos, you just have a good time because it's hilarious to watch me react the way that I would react to the games, right? That's what my shtick was. I didn't want to be the guy that was the hyper-analytical, high-level player because I wasn't. I wasn't a high-level tournament player at Street Fighter 4. I had to find a way to make my videos entertaining, right? Let's see here. Real Flash did a 200-bit cheer. Says, not as bad as that low-tier god dude, but still your trash talk is savage, brah. I like the reactions to the old videos because there's a new perspective. Yeah, like, I still get angry. Don't get me wrong. I still get angry when I play fighting games, but I wouldn't just talk shit to talk shit like I did back then. Feed Me Seymour to me $1 says, you see you were angry in those days, but honestly, I kind of preferred the way you were back then. You seem more passionate about the game and more full of energy. You seem more laid back and reserved now. I am more laid back and reserved now. Because I don't get angry about that shit anymore. Like, I used to be cocky. I used to think that my shit didn't stink. I should be winning every match if I could. I hated when I lost to an online scrub. Today, it's like, I've been doing this for 11 years. I've lost to so many online scrubs because the online play of fighting games sucks so bad. I just don't care anymore. I really don't. Like, essentially, when I play any fighting game online, it's just like, I know I'm probably going to lose. I just don't give a shit. Why would I care when I know that these guys, in 10 years, these game developers haven't made it viable to play these games online? It'll never be like it is the offline experience. So I'm not going to get angry about it. I'm just going to be like, this is fucking stupid. Every once in a while, I'll feel a little bit of rage, but I'm not going to get all worked up about that shit anymore. You know what I mean? So it's a different thing, for sure. King of Hypocrisy says, Dynasty Warriors 8 intro and tutorial. I think we already did that. I'm almost positive we already did that. That was the Asian humor that I did in the intro, and I'm pretty sure we did that in a retrospective already. Laughing Goat did a 301-bit cheer. He says, DSP's Christmas Tree Lighting 2012 Part 3. Well,
2012, as I already told you guys, anything with my X is off limits, and I'm pretty sure that has my X in it, and I'm not doing that. Because that would not be fair, number one, someone who's not in my life anymore to, you know, and probably doesn't want to be associated anymore, being brought up, and number two, it's hurtful, so I'm not doing that. The answer is no. Joshua Moon tipped $1. He said, what are you going to cosplay for Halloween? I don't know. No idea what I'm dressing up for Halloween as yet. PNN News to me $1 and says, if you don't watch your own or anyone else's videos, why you criticize other creator for content you don't watch? I don't constantly criticize other content creators. You're talking out of your ass. Nice try. Chief Keith to me $1 says you should check out your own road trip videos with Howard and John. We have. We've actually checked out many of them during these retrospective events. This time, I'm actually trying to veer away from that, because that was a lot of the stuff we did previously was, oh, here's a travel log to this convention or that convention, and I'm not going to do that, okay? I don't want to do that again, so probably we're going to veer away from that this time around. Panorama Gaming tipped $1 and said you should have a special fighting game stream in memory of T. Carter on his birthday. I mean, the thing is I would like to play during that stream, I wouldn't even be able to find anyone, you know. I remember T. I still talk about him from time to time. It's still messed up that we lost him at such a young age, but I don't know if I would want to dwell on the past, especially on his birthday. It's kind of grim, don't you think? But thank you for the tip and the suggestion. All right.